I will now try and show you details of the torture. They're quite graphic, so don't look if you can't stomach that. The background is that if your appeal happens to land on the desk of a killer, he will see in the computer what you're worth if you have a business or an owned house, and then he starts stealing it for money. He thinks this is a disabled elderly woman, piece of cake, she's got her own house, let me steal it, and that's why he counterfeits decisions that you no longer get your tax refunds. We don't know what's happening. We take official letters at face value. We think it's all legit. He organizes fake court proceedings to steal your house. You have to pay the court fees for sham proceedings that never happen. They charge you $50,000 for the dumping of your goods that are stolen and sold. And they make a huge profit on every of these murders of between 150,000 and 5 million, because you lose your rights to everything that's essential for survival with your residents. And while you die in the streets of exposure, exhaustion, and starvation, a horrible death, the Dutch justices who organized this by counterfeiting, they dance on your graves. Now, in order to get to the house, also my refunds for healthcare were not paid, and I got them for an innate issue that, as a result of that, got out of hand. I needed emergency surgery in 2015. I needed emergency surgery in 2017. At this point, I still had no clue I was being murdered, because I survived the tax hack a bit longer because he had an oversight. And then I got intestinal obstructions as a result of the non-payment of the refunds. And these obstructions were never treated, because another routine of the Dutch judicial to kill people on the hit list is refuse medical treatment in case of a deadly medical emergency. So you die and you think they will never do that. Oh, they will, because they will have you thrown out of the hospital and say the patient voluntarily left the hospital. If you're still alive, you can prove you didn't. Then they will say the patient was automatically cured. How it could happen that you die, well, nobody cares about that. It's just there need to be some words in the paper. An obstruction is when you have too much air in your bowel. Here all that is black is air, and there should be no air. This is 217, huge obstruction. This is 213, small obstruction. It hardly counts. This is 217, all black, all obstruction. What happens is that the bowel gets wider because behind the obstruction, fluid heaps up, gas heaps up, stool heaps up, gets wider and wider. And it happens, in my case, all over the place, so your organs get distorted. Here you see that my kidney, it appears abnormally large, but it's actually just flattened. It's not that it has grown, it has flattened, because the balance in your abdomen shifts. Here you see how my liver is distorted. And then my killer thinks if I just make sure she doesn't get the medical files, if I fix the court files, nobody will know what happened. But he forgot that my inner body is the crime scene of what I appealed as torture, because it caused terminal illness, the refusal of the tax refunds. Here you see the abnormality that I needed maintenance for. This is loop number 1 and this is loop number 2. Here you see them slide a bit better. It looks really, really weird, but these are bowel loops. Now, if you don't get medical treatment for your obstruction, and you have to battle through the obstruction yourself, which seldom is successful, the widening of the bowel can no longer be be repaired, the bowel has lost its elasticity. So your bowel gets longer. When you get through the obstruction, it gets longer. You see here the first loop, this one. It's poking in my throat. It's not exaggerated. This was in 2020. We are now in 2025. The loop, it needs to find a place to be if it gets longer and longer because I keep getting obstruction. So it's now wrapped around my liver 2 or 3 times. I can clearly feel it. Here you have the other loop, loop number 2. Because here everything was like full, the loop had to go to that side. And here it goes to that side. When it's obstructed, this is my heart, it pushes my heart through the ribs. These are the ribs. It pushes my heart through the ribs. That is how bad it is. There isn't anyone in the world alive with bowels like mine. Not anyone. Because only 2% of people survive severe obstructions without medical help, and I have survived quite a few. So these elongations that are completely and totally abnormal are testament to how much I have suffered and are testament to the torture that I appealed in court, that my killer is opposed to. That's why he's killing me. This is a confirmation that it is a terminal illness, cannot be helped anymore. These are medical statements, more medical statements. Here all confirmations of obstructions, on and on and on, on and on and on. Still, till date, it will never go away. It will only get worse because it is a terminal issue. And because of these obstructions, my general health is really in decline. Here you see the consequence. It's an autoimmune reaction. It was contagious. I was not allowed to fly when they stole my house, and my teeth are horrible. It's just horrible. Everything is rotting and abscessing out of my mouth. It is horrible. Here you see the buildup of the air. To 14, you see it's, well, relatively confined. This gets worse to 15. This is a deadly obstruction. This is what I had surgery for in Singapore. It's called a flexure of sorts. I don't know, splenic flexure. I don't know how it's called. This is a very serious obstruction. You can see in 216. It's much worse, 217. Well, this doesn't look so bad because this was before things got out of hand. This loop in 217 collapsed, and that caused severe obstruction. Here you see it again, it's really severe. Here you see it again, really severe. Here too. I had a small perforation. This is after the perforation, because your bowels can't keep it. Luckily I was in hospital. Here you see 218 more. Here you see everything is gas and gray. And this is a stomach twist. That is also a deadly thing because everything is continuously like pushed aside, and it's just horrible. It is also painful. You can't even move if you have acute obstruction. So this is the torture to terminal illness that I wanted to show you, that was achieved by plundering my tax refunds, not giving my tax refunds, and by plundering my house, depriving me of my right to health care. And on top of this, in this situation, with these elongated bowels, I was deported from my native country. And I have now been starved to death by termination of my old age pension for 19 months. This is the 32nd termination of my pension. I had to battle through all these things with bowels in my throat. So that is how they continue to kill you until you're dead enough. They do that by counterfeit decisions, no matter what you appeal, and by blocking your access to the European Court of Human Rights. This is how the Dutch judicial executes claimants of human rights violations. It warrants extrajudicial executions by torture, by starvation in the Netherlands.